Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs Gone Wild.
Well, hello, Chubbies and Chubby admirers. It is Chubs Gone Wild, episode 530, recorded on February 12th, 2024, and it's a beautiful day outside, 55 degrees, and, well, it says cloudy, but it's maybe just a tinge overcast. It is 2 days until Valentine's Day, 262 days until Halloween, and a mere 17 days until Christmas. Can't wait. Can't wait. Anyway, Patreon. What the frickin' hell is this? Ugh,
What's happening?
my browser decided to open up a completely new window for me without even being asked. Isn't that just delightful? Well, back to our regularly scheduled program. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Most Pete. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can become a supporter of the show for as little as $1 a month. And, well, yeah, okay. So we do have some My Life in Fragments podcast coming up on the Patreon, but I've been having a little bit of issues with them. What issues, you ask? Go ahead, ask.
What issues?
Well, I have found out through while we were trying to post, because we host Swanner and Judd and my other show and this show all on our wonderful hosting service, which we've been very happy with, well, happy-ish with for a while now. Only when your cohort there decided to post the latest show, well, we found out that our hosting service is completely switched, bait and switched everybody and everything, and took over 60 gigabytes away from our hosting package while jacking up the price over 300%. So they wanted us to pay about $400 for 20 gigabytes of space. Like, what? So we are currently in the process of moving our hosting to another service, which for the most part we were able to do, but because we had to change several of our admin things, going a little meta here, we're not able to actually move our Chubs Gone Wild domain over to the new hosting for about another month. So there should be no interruption issues, but just in case there is, just know that it's a little hosting thing going on. We will get it figured out. It will be wonderful. In the meantime, if you would like to go over to kitchencabinetkinks.com, you can find the new Chubs Gone Wild site over there. So
Kitchen Cabinet Kinks?
kitchencabinetkinks.com. I've always wanted to do something with that address, something fun with kitchens and cabinets and kinks, but I have not been able to as yet. But now it is our Chubs Gone Wild.
Does Brian refuse to record until this gets solved?
Yes, well, it actually is minorly salt, but we'll get that. One moment, please. So, just letting you know that we'll have that all fixed up pretty soon. In the meantime, don't you love that domain name? Don't you?
Mm.
Yes, that was a yes from Tom. And that means that it is time, since he is in a positive mood, to express this week's affirmation. I balance my life between work, rest, and play. They all get equal time. Was this made in America? What?
Hey, well, wait, I don't have work. What about me?
Oh, well, you balance your time between um, rest, play, and running to the bathroom. And
No, to the gym. To the gym. I just got back from the
oh,
gym. Well,
really?
I got back from the gym and I made myself some chicken because I needed some protein, you know.
Uh-huh. You
And
did.
I'll be having a stir fry tonight.
Whatever you want to call it. Okay. All right, hey, today in history, actor Sal Mineo is stabbed to death in Hollywood, California. Well, that's lightning. Uh, Mineo was parking his car behind his apartment when neighbors heard cries for help. Some described a white man with brown hair fleeing the scene, but the time they reached Mineo, he was almost dead from a deep wound to his chest. He died minutes later. Sal Mineo was a famous teen actor in the 1950s. He co-starred with James Dean in both Rebel Without a Cause and Giant. Really sad. He was thought of as quite a beautiful man too.
Well, and the what you're not saying is he wasn't parking his car. He was in the back alleyway, most likely they're doing a drug deal or trying to get sex.
Well, I don't know about a drug deal, but it could have very well been sexual.
No, because
But you know what? It's not me that's not saying that. It's this site.
I know. I read a book on him, and it was that was he was about as gay as you could be open in that time period.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so and believe me, when he died and he died from being stabbed in an alleyway, everybody kind of went, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was with some rough trade or something going on. But
Well, yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, in the 1950s, you couldn't just go, there weren't many gay bars, and if there were,
no.
you didn't, he was a famous actor.
Right.
So,
Yeah. But that doesn't make it any less tragic and sad because he was
sure,
also a very good actor. And
he
yeah,
was cute. He was so cute.
he was very, very cute. All right, well, let's see about holidays and if there's any that we celebrated, like clean out your computer day. No, it's on my list, but no. Wow, there's a lot today. Also, cream bun day. Tom will be celebrating that later. Oh, it's from Iceland though, so never mind.
Oh, no, I won't.
Not saying anything, it's all good.
No,
Hug day. Nope. International Darwin Day. Mm, Epilepsy. Lincoln's birthday. The NAACP Day. Yeah, okay. National Football Hangover Day. Nope. Mm-mm.
I watched football yesterday, but I didn't have a hangover.
Did you watch it alone?
No,
Really? Did you have people over?
yeah, my husband.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then. And some
No, have
lumpia,
people over? No.
and
Are you
some very,
kidding?
very beautiful lumpia. It was very nice.
And hand rolled, I did them myself.
I know. That's you sent that and you're all like, Look, these are hand rolled. I did them myself, not like you who just bought some at the store. Ha ha ha.
I've never made it before.
Yeah, I looked into the recipe. That's a complicated recipe, girl. I don't know
Oh,
how
no kidding.
complicated you took it.
No, it's not a complicated recipe at all.
Oh, well, not for you. You're basically a sous chef all by yourself. So, but for me, I was like, there's more than three things in here. That's not gonna happen. There's no just can of soup dumped in. So yeah. All right. It's
Well,
also what? Oh, go ahead.
I could give you a really fast and easy recipe next time you want to try it.
Okay. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's also National Freedom to Marry Day. Hmm. Hmm.
I'm free to marry. No, I'm not free to marry anymore.
Freedom to marry. Well, yeah. Hmm. Also, it's Lost Penny Day. Plum pudding. I don't know. Have I really ever had a plum pudding? I don't know. I don't think so. Poop Day. Oh, it's Tom's special day. Also, Oatmeal Monday, Oglethorpe Day, Paul Bunyan Day. Oh man, that was hot. I remember a little kid looking up at a big statue of Paul Bunyan and going, I don't know why, but I'm all tingly. Hmm.
That's yeah. On Big Mouth, they did Paul Bunyan, and it was starring The Rock,
Oh,
and it was super gay. Him and his blue ox, and
yeah.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Old blue. Hmm. Let's see. Safety Pup Day. Okay. And Shrove Monday. 48, so which is celebrated 48 days before Easter.
Oh,
Hmm. So I
kids.
guess we have Easter coming up in 48 days.
Well, that's the end of March.
Uh, I'm not ready. Not
But
ready.
not ready for what? Easter?
Yes.
Why?
It's just too much. I mean, I just got done with Christmas,
I know,
and
but what are you
now we have
celebrating on Easter?
Valentine's Day, and Easter is like next month, and we just had the
Christmas, New
well,
Year's,
yes, we had that. Oh gosh, don't remind me of that one. And then we just had
Martin Luther King's birthday.
no, the pagan holiday that I always forget how to pronounce. Imbolc, I think. I think. Anyway, okay. Well, so those are the holidays. Didn't
Boy,
celebrate any of those.
you poor tortured soul.
I know, I'm lacking. All right. Anyway, let's find out whose birthdays we got coming up. Starting with happy birthday to Mike and to Robert, who used to be one of our friends in town. He's in Texas now. And we've also got those are look David. And we've got David and Dave, our friend Dave from the theater. Different, not Stuart, the other one. Uh, Also to Anthony and Patrick, Lucy, Anthony, Stephen. We got Robert, Cindy, Brandon, Michael, and we've got Tommy and Larry. Happy birthday to all of you. Hope you have a
Larry's was last week.
no, this is a different Larry. That one. Oh, the one you're talking about goes by Lawrence now. My name is Lawrence.
Yeah, that's probably trying to hide from the payers.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been like, oh, girl, you would just Larry to me. Oh, sorry. Having a nanny moment. All right. Well, we do have a little something in our feedback. Sean wrote in and said, no cake wasters allowed. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Oh yeah, I don't care how dry that cake was. I know it wasn't a red velvet cake, but other people might have liked to have a piece of that cake too.
Right, exactly. But she just was like, if I make a big scene, they'll keep me on for being mean. Nope.
No, no, they won't keep. She's already said she's leaving. What she did do. I'll throw this cake down, and I'll open the episode and close the episode.
Yep,
Is
it'll be
exactly what she
all
did.
about me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was right. I mean, that was fantastic. When she threw that cake down at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, did I miss something? What's going on?
I know I was like rewinding, going, is it starting in the middle? Okay. And we've got Chub Hugs. Who would you like to send Chub Hugs out to, Honey Bear?
Well, I have to send it out to all of the 49er fans who are tortured today, and they're so upset, and they just don't know how they're going to get on with their lives now. There's just, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I went to the gym and there were people wearing armbands. It was just gross.
What?
No, I'm
Okay,
joking.
that's too
They
much.
weren't wearing armband, but let's face it, around here, when the 49ers lose a big game,
Yeah.
it, it's funny because Sean, we were gonna go get in the hot tub after the game. And I said, well, if the 49ers win, I'm not going outside. And he's like, why? What? And I go, well, because people be shooting guns up in the air, and we've already
Hmm,
got one bullet in our hot tub. We don't need two while we're in there.
right.
And then when they didn't win, I said, okay, let's hot tub, because
Well, yeah,
they're gonna sit in the house and like domestically abuse their wife and
significant
children.
others, shall we say.
Yes, yeah, they're not
Yeah,
gonna.
I when I went on Facebook and after the game, and I was looking to see who won, and I saw absolutely no posts about it at all. And I went, oh, okay, so obviously not the 49ers. Otherwise, Facebook would have exploded with our local people being like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
So, well, there you go. Um, Chub Hugs for me, I don't know, anybody that needs it. A
Oh,
couple dear friends of ours who posted some screes on Facebook who needed it. Quite Chub Hugs to them. They will know who they are, I believe. And well, just Chub Hugs. You know what? Chub Hugs out to my mom who had a really rough week. She's doing just fine, but she had a few days this week that she was kind of going through some rough things. So there you go. All right, celebrity news. Marley Matlin is frustrated with CBS for not televising more American Sign Language interpreters during the Sunday Super Bowl game. Performances. The Oscar-winning actress took to X to write, "I am absolutely shocked at CBS for introducing the deaf performers at today's Super Bowl game and then not showing them even 1 second of their performance, as has been a tradition for the last 30 years. Why?" And I agree, because as soon as I saw that, because the only thing that I really watched was the national anthem, and I saw Daniel Durant was going to be AS interpreting it, and I was looking for him, and they showed him for 2 seconds, and then like nothing. Then it was all Reba and her cleavage. Um, so
but he was really cute.
he is so cute. Oh my gosh, he is so cute. And he's such a talented actor. So anyway, I was really disappointed because I had hoped to see at least a few more glimpses of him, um
Uh,
but I think she's got a very valid point. So there you go. ABC has given the green light to The Golden Bachelorette, starring Tom Swanner. No, a female-fronted spinoff of the historic senior citizen dating show, The Golden Bachelor, which aired last year. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to 30 octogenarians up
Daddy.
there, toddling off after one of the hopefully one of the ladies from the last show. That would be lovely.
Yeah,
So
they've already picked somebody.
yeah,
This I don't know why they're saying, oh, they've greenlighted it when this was. I knew this, 3 months.
yeah, I know, but the way that news travels, hey,
Well, and also they're probably starting to film it, and they wanted to get
give
that
it a little promo.
right away. Yeah. See, the
Yeah.
nice thing about they can actually film a lot of stuff during the wintertime, because let's face it, they're not going to have beach parties, they're not going to have swim parties with
Oh,
I just can't imagine that they're going to do that. So that's fine, because it gets even cold in Los Angeles, Southern California during the winter time. So
That's true. Yeah.
Although, we could go to hot tubbing places, and
Mhm.
get like a big
Only if the 49ers don't win, though. Okay. Well, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees for induction this year include Cher, Lenny Kravitz, Sinead O'Connor, Mary J. Blige, Ozzy Osbourne, and Mariah Carey. Excuse me. Other famed nominated musical acts include Sade, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, James Addiction, Oasis, Kool and the Gang, and A Tribe Called Quest. Surprisingly, Carey, Cher, Kravitz, and Osbourne are among 10 nominees who are on the ballot for the first time. And actually, I had just watched an interview with Cher on one of the late night talk shows where she said that she had never been nominated, and even if they nominated her, she wouldn't do it now because they're assholes. She should have gotten it long ago. And I agree with her, actually. I mean, I actually do hope that she gets in because she freaking deserves it, but I mean, come on. She's been around far longer than, like
Yeah. Okay, but
James
first of all,
Addiction.
I have a little problem with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige. Well, these are not rock. Why is it
Mary J. Blige, I can see, but
oh,
yes,
as a
I
rock and
agree.
roller, rock and roll, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
But rock and roll is
There's a rock and roller.
who?
Take me home.
Yes, she's a
Oh
fucking rock
yeah.
and roller.
Oh
But the
yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is encompassing more. It's like,
Well, then where's the
bigger
Carpenters?
music. Where's the well, there is an R&B Hall of Fame, I
Okay,
believe.
the Carpenters aren't going to be in the R&B Hall of Fame, so
Well, then they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they weren't exactly rock and roll. They were more like
okay.
snooze and muse.
Well, they were as much rock and roll as Cher was.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
See, that's the problem I have with this is they don't include. I mean, Mariah Carey, rock and roll.
Rock
Okay,
and roll
no,
covers pop and
it should be the
all that stuff.
music Hall of Fame, and not
Pop
rock and
and
roll,
music Hall of Fame.
because that's what keeps people like Barry Manilow and the Carpenters and John Denver and Olivia John out of these categories because they weren't rock and roll. I don't know how these other qualified. I mean,
Well, you
Frampton,
know what? I will give you a caveat.
Voice,
We'll put
Soul.
a pin in that, and I will do some more research because that is interesting. If they are being kept out of that because they're not rock and roll, then I would be possibly more inclined to agree with you. But we are moving on, and uh, we're talking about celebrity deaths. Henry Fambro, the singer, best known for his work in R&B quintet The Spinners, died February 7th. He was 85. Country music superstar Toby Keith died February 5th at age 62 following a 2-year battle with stomach cancer. Kelvin, don't start.
No, I didn't know what he died from. I didn't say anything. Oh, that's what he died from. That's what I said. So don't you
Okay.
start.
I was wondering myself, actually. But Kelvin Kiptum, the record-holding marathon winner, who held 3 of the 7 fastest marathon titles ever recorded, died in a car crash along with his coach on February 11th. He was 24. Since Cecilia Gentili, the Pose actress and transgender advocate, died on February 6th at only age 52. Amanda Davies, the daughter of One Life to Live's Erica Slezak, um, who also acted as the younger version of her mother on the soap opera, died at age 42. Adam Harrison, the second oldest of Pawn Stars cast member Rick Harrison's 3 children, was found dead at age 39 of an overdose. And that is that. And now we're going to get all cheered up from that while Tom talks to you about.
Wait, you make that sound like I was the problem here. I don't like
No,
that.
no, it's supposed to be that you're now going to make us feel better after we
Okay,
talk
okay.
about some down stuff.
Okay, this week on RuPaul's Drag Race, well, first of all, last week a mandatory meeting left, was sent home, and on Pit Stop afterwards, that's the one with Trixie Mattel, hosts, that basically is a reaction to this show. Her and the queen that was on that week, they said they were both surprised that a mandatory meeting went home or was even in the bottom.
Mhm.
Um, and so they figured, well, there must be something going on more than what we know. And that's exactly what we thought when we were watching it.
Mm.
Uh, and this week, the girl who was saved, Q, from, instead of Amanda going home, Q should have gone home. But this week, Q wins the challenge. And what they did was it was turn yourself into Barbie challenge.
I saw part of that.
Where you have to wear the same outfit as your Barbie. So it
Mhm.
was a fun challenge. And yeah, when it all came down, they let I can't remember her name, but basically it's you got to have a car, something like that. Um, uh, she was terrible. She's been in the bottom 3 times out of 4, so it's time for her to go home. It's one of
Mm.
those
Yeah.
situations. So I was fine with that, but yeah, it was really fun watching them, trying to make. I love when they go, they take a doll that's, a foot tall maybe,
Yeah.
and they try to put a dress on it that's the same dress that you have, and they're doing it with a pattern. Okay,
Mhm.
first of all, your pattern is going to be hugely different, on
Yes.
a 6 foot tall person than it is on a 1 foot tall doll. So that, it's just little things while you're watching it going, oh my God. But yeah, for those who are watching RuPaul's Drag Race afterwards, since I'm not going to pay for Untucked.
Uh,
um, I watch Pit Stop for free on YouTube. So it's like I said, Trixie Mattel's doing it right now, and she is super funny. And well, actually, any queen that they get on there is funny. I'm really shocked,
mhm.
and I love just they're how real they are, how bitchy they can be. It's too much fun. Let's see. Let's see, Trader. The Trader, oh my God, they're killing me with this one episode a week thing. Oh my God.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is one where and by the way, it's been renewed for a third season, but I am just so excited for the episode to come out because it's been really compelling and fun. And it's surprising because half the people I don't know, they're housewives and Love Island people and, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But then I got the people from Challenge and Big Brother and Survivor, so I know them. But but it didn't matter. I'm already, I'm so sucked in right now. It's ridiculous. I'm down to one episode left of Ted the series. And it's just a really cute show. I'm surprised it's as normal as it is. I mean, it's a talking teddy bear, and
Right.
it's so I expected it to be filthy and them doing really awful things, but it's more, like last night's episode was um the the kid's mother um doubt, she's been like, just all she wants to do is take care of the father. That's all she wants to do. And she's got a degree. And so the kids they decide to get her a job as a substitute teacher at the school because she has her degree.
Mm.
And she does great. And then she's like, but I really just want to stay home and take care of your father. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, okay. But it's one of those things where you're thinking, oh, I thought it was going to be, much more exciting. I mean, much more,
Right.
yeah, yeah, just crazy laughs and just ridiculousness, and it's pretty normal. But still, it's an enjoyable show, just less than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Um, let's see, finished up Queer Eye. Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Um, True Detective with Jodie Foster. That's
Mm.
right now on Max. It's been super weird. I'm thinking there's got to be, I mean, they've already gotten spiritual with like ghosts showing up and leading them to where to find the body that was missing. And we got the kind of the natives of Alaska and their traditions and their mystic stuff. Or there could be aliens. I'm not sure. It's something's going on, something weird. But it's also it's super you're just sucked into it, and it's really a really good show. Um, Super hot. Now this is the people that like the chili, the hot chilies.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand them now. The kind of uh chilies is kind of like when you're out to see theater and you see a show that just makes your tits tingle. It's just so good, you
Yeah.
know, and that you get kind of a euphoria from it, and you're talking about it in the car, and you go out and get something to eat, and you're just
Yeah.
yapping.
Love
Well,
those.
yeah. So this chili thing, what they do is because their mouth's on fire, all these endorphins are racing to their head,
Okay.
and so once the burn is off, they're in like a euphoric state afterwards.
Huh.
I get that. I get that. I mean, it's a hard way of doing it. Same way people like, they go out and do a 10-mile run and they come back and they feel so good about themselves. Let's go out and
Yeah.
get nachos. Yeah. Okay. But I understand them, but I don't understand them. So,
Mhm.
but it's interesting. And they're half-hour episodes, so easy to get through. Louder Milk is on Netflix. This is um, Brian told me to watch it. And I'm thinking, oh, Brian's told me to watch it because this is Brian. Okay, so and then I'm watching it and going, no, no, because you know, Loudermouth does have friends. Yeah, but that's not like him,
Dude.
and ultimately, he's always trying to do the right thing, even if the way he does it is not quite the
Oh,
way.
that definitely isn't him.
Yeah, that's the other thing that completely threw me.
Mm.
But it's a pretty funny show. Will Sasso is really good in it. Yeah, it's so far it's been pretty fun. Um, let's see. I think I mentioned to you. No, I mention to you I watched Assassins last week, the Stephen Sondheim musical. I don't think I
I
did.
don't think so.
Okay, so it's Assassins is it is all the people that have attempted or have assassinated
Oh,
presidents.
right.
And and basically there's like the narrator is trying to gather um more people, when they're at that point, and he gets them to do it. It's like, oh, I know you're upset about your life, so kill the president. What do you want? Do you want to kill the president? And it's just totally weird.
Hmm.
And there's some good songs, but for the most part, I understand why it was a failure. It would work better, honestly, it works better as uh, a concert musical instead of
Oh,
acted,
okay.
because
Yeah.
the book portion of this was weak, very weak. Um, let's see, watched Jack Whitehall on
Yes.
um,
Love
eh,
him. So
well,
cute.
he's super cute,
Yeah.
but after like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of his stand-up, we turned it off.
Yeah, it's very hit hit and miss. I've seen some of his shows that are funny as F and some that just fall so flat. Anyway, yeah,
Well,
I get it.
this week we went to see Greg Proops
Oh
at
yeah.
the new theater here in town called the Sophia,
Hmm.
uh, which is, and when I say brand new theater, okay, they've got a 250 seat and a 350 seat auditorium in the same building. One does plays, the other can do plays, or because it's the 350 one's got a stage that can be modified. It's not your traditional um, stage. So, which makes it good for, I mean, I would love to, some of my plays where, where you're stuck in a one room, you can actually move it around a little more when you've got multiple areas to act in, which I
Yeah.
think is cool. Um, and then they have upstairs, they have a place on weekends that they do improv, the an improv space. They have a restaurant and a bar on the in the area in the building, and they got their own 6 level parking structure.
Wow.
Who were they fucking to get all that in on
Well, I
on,
mean,
it's on Capitol?
Sophia,
Is it Capitol and 26th, I think?
yeah. Well, it was named after Sophia, so that her family uh, just put everything into it.
I guess because I mean, we're talking multi-million dollars worth.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
and the seats. First of all, so roomy. I mean, I was sitting. I had probably another 6 inches in the seat. You know,
Really?
yeah,
Well, you're a
really
sleep
roomy.
bitch now, but yeah.
And then when you sat down, now when you sit down and there's a point where you kind of your knees don't want to move down much anymore, and
Yes.
your back feels like, why can't I be sitting now? And then you kind of plop down maybe another 2 inches, and you plop down to the seat, and you're like, okay, okay, we're down.
Yep.
Okay, this one, just when you that area where you're going, oh, if I just, oh, I'm sitting. It was actually the seats are higher up. So
Wow.
yeah, it was beautiful, just beautiful, and the theater itself was gorgeous. The only problem I had was that the seats were orange, which I thought was a weird color.
Well,
But
especially for when the light's out and you're trying to watch something on stage, it is kind of a distracting color, I would
yeah,
think.
that's what I'm thinking. So
Um,
yeah, that was my only complaint. But anyway, Greg Proops, who's from whose line is it anyway? Really funny stand-up. He's very liberal, and I can't. One of his things was, okay, so I can see that you guys are a hit and miss audience. Just remember, this is my job. If you don't laugh, then I'm a failure. Do you want me to be a failure? And so he had a lot of those very funny, um, very funny. It was all good. And I was very glad that I got to see the theater. Anyway,
but yeah.
so anyway, the
Mm,
Connors are back. Abbott Elementary is back. Not dead yet. I think that's it. Not dead yet, or the one where the girl's writing the obituaries, and the people she's writing obituaries about keep showing up, and
yes,
they
I
share their
remember.
life and why so she can write the correct obituary about it. So it's kind of
Hmm,
a cool show. Um, but they're all back, so we're getting back to network television again, which is exciting.
hmm,
And if you are streaming, you can see all three of those on Hulu the next day.
nice.
Um, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. A chorus line. Uh, I don't know if you've seen it on your Facebook page, but a chorus line has created a juniors version for elementary school and for junior high and high schools.
Wow.
Now, did they completely fucking rewrite the show?
Okay, I'm sorry. I was coughing. Say that again. Did they
Did
completely fucking what?
rewrite the show?
Well, they would have to be like, milk and cookies.
Got myself a dozen there,
How I got my
and
job.
how about Paul's speech where he talks about how he was molested as a child because he had to sit up front with all the perverts at the movie theaters, and he didn't have
Dear.
glasses, so he had to sit up front. Yeah, that's going to go over well. Or how about Daddy always said I'd be very attractive when I grew up. And Mom dug earrings out of the back seat of the car and they weren't hers. And I'm like, oh yeah. So they've cut at the ballet, which is a great number. They've cut
Uh,
Paul's piece. They cut out tits and ass. I
well,
mean,
I would
seriously.
hope so.
And what about oh the well, Zach, I know we were fucking for a while, but I went to LA and I failed, and now I need a job. I need a job, Zach. Give me a job. It's like, no, this is wrong. I just don't. I
I
mean,
mean,
this isn't like
yeah.
physical. this isn't like Seussical or Annie where you can kind of tone down some of the things about it that make it harder for kids to accept, but
Hmm.
still, I don't know. I just laughed when I heard that. I did get my new pressure cooker. I haven't used it yet. It ended up
Oh,
being I ended up getting a um Instapot. Instacrop pot. Instapot.
Instapot. Yes, they are fabulous.
So what happened was I was making a chuck roast and I got it all set up in the my old pressure cooker and turned it on.
Huh?
Then it turned itself off. And I turned it on and it turned itself off. And then I said, Sean, get out my Dutch oven, throw this thing in the garbage, and then order me a new one. And it came on Saturday. So, well, the thing is, I use my pressure cooker at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times. I
Mm.
use it. So I must have it. So,
Mm.
and I have it now. So that's good. Um, the Super Bowl was boring, even though I guess it was a good game. It was boring, and but I did make, as I think we discussed, I did make lumpia. Did you put the picture online?
I have not. I will be putting it
Okay,
on the
because
feed,
I
but I haven't
because we this is what we've been happening with Sean and I is we get a wild hair lately, and
yet.
it's like we were at Winco and I go, "Ooh, egg roll wrappers, let's make lumpia," and then it's like, look, we have all the ingredients at home already, and so we made lumpia and it turned out really tasty. I did add more spice to it because they tend to be just savory and yummy, but I'd like to have a little warmth with that as well, if you know.
Yeah, I mean they look really good.
And then finally I saw
Even came on a cute little plate, and it's perfect because of Chinese New Year. Well, although I don't know if I think lumpia is Vietnamese.
it's yeah, uh, Filipino actually. Uh,
Oh, okay.
but anyway, let's see. I went to see Mean Girls, the musical that's out of theaters
Oh,
right now,
yeah,
and it was super fun.
good.
Super fun. And they've got some really good songs. The one that you're gonna like is Revenge Party.
He
Uh,
sounds like me.
and then there's Apex Predator. That's a really good one because they're talking about how um, the main girl, the main mean girl, is the apex predator, and you got to stay away. She'll destroy you. The music was really good. Tina Fey did the screenplay again, so it's super funny. And Busy Phillips plays the main mean girl's mother, and it's so funny because during the movie I looked at Sean and I go, "Well, I can tell you why Busy Phillips got the job is because she looks exactly like the actress who's playing her daughter." I
Uh,
mean, you would think there's got to be they're related somehow. I mean, they look that much alike. Um, but it was a super good show, and it's at theaters right now. I did want to mention that, and why isn't it in here? I put that in here earlier. Color Purple, that came out at Christmas, is going to be on Max this month
really already? Oh,
already,
I'm looking
and
forward to it. Oh,
I thought it was super good. And then on uh, Peacock, Oppenheimer starts this Friday.
mm.
Well, it's going to be up for Best Picture. Well, it is up for Best
No,
Picture,
I'm
but
not. I'm not debating that it is probably an amazing film. It's just I just don't have it in me to want to watch that story again and again and again.
I'm going to watch it on an 85-inch TV.
Oh, well, there you go. You can see the bombs go big.
I
Boom,
know
boom.
Brad's going to love it.
Oh, that's right. You got Brad. He's
Yeah,
going,
Brad Pitt's staying the week with us. So,
yes, he will love it.
yeah. Well, and what's going to be great is when he goes home and says, "Oh, what is this, 65, 55 inches? What is this? Oh, this is sad. I'm
Yeah.
going back to Tom's." Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen the have you seen that the videos of that dog that watches TV like super intensely? There's videos, and it's a cute dog, and it's a great big screen TV, probably like you were saying, and it sits there and it holds its toy in its mouth and it just stares at the TV, and then it was showing Twilight, where not they all turn to wolves and go tearing off after the girl and stuff, and he was just throwing himself at the TV and tearing up his toy. Like, anyway, he's
Well,
so
I
cute.
guess you have forgotten my dog, Honey.
No, I did not forget. That's why.
No, well, what was interesting was we were watching, I may have, do you realize that we've been recording now for over 10 years, by the way?
Oh wow. Yes, we have, girl.
So anyway, so
Oh,
I don't know if
somebody send us something. No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't know if I've mentioned the story before, but so so what happened was we were watching The Conjuring 2, I believe it was. It may We were watching one of those movies, and I had seen it because I had already reviewed it, but we had Damian James and Sean had not seen it, and Honey had not seen it.
Mhm.
So she was sitting, and because she loved TV, she was a
Yeah.
big TV watcher. So she was watching it, and there's this one scene where it's a camera follow the camera's following the character through this pretty big house, and they go from this one room into a middle room, which is like a laundry room, into the kitchen. And while they're going into that room, there's a boy standing against the wall that should not be there, right? And the humans did not see it, but she's like, it's a boy, and then I went, and she was like right next to me, and I'm like petting her, going, "Yeah, I know, I saw it too." And then what would happen? Something scary would happen, and
Uh-huh.
she'd jump up and run around the couch, and then come back and sit down. And back to watching the TV. It was the funniest thing. I remember I actually took a picture of her one day and sent it to the TV station because they said, "What's your dog doing on on these? How is your dog handling the heat?" And I said, "Well, my dog likes to sit and watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on TV." And there she is, from behind watching you can see she's watching the TV. It
Mhm.
was really cute. So.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, I went
yeah.
off on a thing.
No, that's great. Ours usually never really pay attention to it unless they hear a very realistic bark, and then they'll jump up and go bark. So,
Or the doorbell they have a doorbell on the show.
oh, or a knock. Sometimes they'll respond to that. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. Well, shows that we watched together, starting with the finale of Percy Jackson. I loved it. I think it's a very fun show, and I'm looking forward to next season.
It got canceled.
Did it?
No, I'm lying.
I was gonna say I would imagine they'd probably have gotten them for 3 or 4 more seasons of now by now.
Yeah, and it was renewed.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have been surprised had it not been.
right. Especially since I've heard so many people just be like, I way above expectations. So, and then we have The Bachelor, Joey, season 28, which is Joey, and I will let you take the lead on this one.
Well, just first of all, that when they were doing I can't remember what the actual contest was, but they were dressed in like the two that were dressed like one's like a hot dog and one's like
Oh, they were playing tennis.
yeah, wiener, wiener. I kept hearing that a lot.
And
There was too much wiener talk.
then the babies, they were the ones that grossed me out.
Yeah. Um, and then that Sydney girl, she's the
Ugh.
she's the one stirring up shit.
Yep,
And 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 I feel bad for, and I can't I swear to God I wrote all these names down.
Maria.
Yes, I felt really bad for Maria because all she did was say, "Oh, I feel really bad for so and so. Look, I'm old. I'm older than Joey is too, and I don't feel that way. I feel
Right.
bad she feels that way." And then fucking Sydney, the cunt, goes and says, "Oh, she's talking smack about you." Says she doesn't want to validate your feelings, and it's like, Oh my God, what is wrong with
And
this
Sydney
girl?
is so obsessed with Maria that I think there's something more there. I think that Maria triggers something in Sydney that she just, yeah, I don't know what it is. But and then when they started the whole bully thing, and I'm like, she's what I can't stand mean girls. And I'm like, wow, you've never looked in a mirror, have you? Because you're the only mean girl on the whole freaking set.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
except for the one who threw down the cake.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, she's not mean. She's just
Crazy.
um fragile. Let's call her fragile.
Oh, a
You know,
fragile woman in
yeah.
this day and age doesn't fly.
And then one thing that was very funny was I was sitting at home on Monday night and I get a text, well, it was probably early evening, that says, okay, whatever plans you have, cancel them, go to KFC, get chicken, and come home and watch The Bachelor. And I'm like, I looked at Sean, I go, boy, they know their audience. Uh,
Yes.
and so if you go on the show, they have a pool party where they bring out a shitload of KFC. So
Right. It will
it was
be
fun,
when it's done.
fun watching Jesse at the end of the show sitting in the Colonel Sanders
Mhm.
floaty eating chicken.
That
That
was
was
priceless, especially when he did the joke. And why do I have to come out and tell them it's the last rose? There's only one left. It's obvious. And I'm like, I've been saying that since the first time I saw him do that.
yeah, but that's to set up tension.
I just to set up something or to give him some more time because I'm like, oh my God, that's like what a cushy job. I get paid $50,000 an episode to come out and say, Joey, ladies, it's the last rose. Bye.
Yeah, well, he does say, if your name's not called,
Oh yes, he does have another
take,
line
take,
there.
take some time to say your goodbyes and get out. Now you
Right.
don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Hmm. Meanwhile, he's got his pregnant wife at home, unless she's
Well,
the
and the
version
other
of the
thing
cake.
is, how come none of these other girls have enough balls to go up to Joey and go up to Joey or go up to um and now I've completely forgotten his name, the host, and say,
Jesse. No.
okay, look, Sydney's a fucking cunt. And get mad at me, I don't care, but this her railroading poor Maria because Maria happened to say something that she didn't understand what the meaning was. And I know how this is. I have been in that situation where somebody doesn't understand what I'm trying to say
Uh-huh.
because they've already got a perceived notion that I'm going to say something bad. You did it earlier with the Toby Keith thing.
Oh yeah, because I
Yeah,
thought you were gonna
I know you did.
say
And
something, and not that I would have disagreed with you, but I was just like,
there's a
don't.
time and a place, girl. There's a time and a place.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
and and that's why I want somebody to come up and say, or a couple of the girls go,
Uh-huh.
let's go over and tell Joey that this is what the situation is because we missed out on our pool party because
Hmm.
Sydney. We missed out on a cocktail party because of Sydney. I am
Uh-huh.
sick and tired of missing out on the reason we're here because Sydney's too busy trying to stir the shit.
Right.
I- If
And it should be, you're right, and it should be two, several of the girls, not just
yes,
one,
because
so
you
that
saw
it
them, they're
becomes
all sitting
another,
there complaining about it.
yeah.
And what do? They do nothing but they complain, and that's it.
Because if it's one person, they could, get
I
the
get it.
the stirring the pot thing. But if it's like three or four of them, then then he's not gonna see them all in that light. And
Yeah, because and now
but yeah,
next week they have an episode where he's going to take both Sydney and Maria on a date, and one or none are coming home. And
see,
and
it's such a shame because Maria is like the type of person I think I would hang out with.
yeah, me
I
too.
mean, I really like her. To whereas Sydney is just like one of those people you're like, oh wow, I don't think you understand the level of crazy that you really are.
Well, she's so toxic. She's
Yeah.
so toxic, and that whole thing where she's like going, Oh, what does she want? An arm? A leg? What does she want from me?
I
And it's
know.
like,
It's like, well,
what
maybe
she
for you
wants
to
is
stop being crazy.
what she wants to do is put you in a home for a very long time. Okay, what's the next show?
uh, Queer Eye.
Right. So I'm all done.
Me too.
The last two episodes were uh the retired nun. I guess she's not retired, she quit.
Yeah, that
But
was kind of sweet
but
in
yes,
a weird way.
but her way that she was refusing so much of the stuff, when they're trying to get her to do things and she's
Mhm.
refusing, and she'll tell you why she's refusing. It was very frustrating because she had all the answers, but all they were excuses.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with
Um,
that.
and then the chef with the dead mother, the woman that was a chef.
Oh, yeah, I really liked her, but yeah, the whole thing when they had her confront her father, I'm like, I felt absolutely no resolve.
Well, I felt the same way, and it's like, um, it's kind of, there are certain. I see. I grew up in a family where you didn't talk about family problems. You
Yeah.
you just kind of not doing that, and that's the generation he's from. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I was very uncomfortable, and these kind of shows I do want resolve, but I don't want it at any cost.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I felt really uncomfortable during the whole show. So,
I
well,
did
that's
too, although
the end,
go ahead. Sorry.
the end of the show. But what I did like was the last few episodes, Anthony had nothing to do.
Well, yeah, because I was like, Anthony, you should be all like trying to get her to give you some of her recipes because she's a
Yeah,
freaking chef, you know. All
right.
you're doing is standing there with your arms and veins out and trying to sound cute and going, yeah, 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 yeah. So,
Here, why don't you make me some food?
right, exactly.
My
Uh,
shit is just you know,
like,
it
hey, I'm gonna teach you how to make a salad.
yeah,
That's right. Chop those carrots.
yeah, basically I'm a step up above SpaghettiOs, and and you run a restaurant. So
But yeah, I loved. I will say that that show was probably for me like one that I thought was kind of a bad one to end on because I really didn't feel the resolve, or it was just like, hey, let's just kind of make her life a little bit better and tell her to focus on herself. To whereas some of the earlier episodes just had me in tears.
oh, I know. The deaf guy,
Oh yeah,
the couple, the first couple, with
yeah,
the raccoon.
yes,
A lot of those were very touching, and then we got
yeah.
this one that just ended so. Like I said, I was uncomfortable during the second half of the episode, and
Hmm.
it's not supposed to be that way with this show.
Right.
It should be actually a celebration of life and joy.
Right. I really think that they should have ordered them better.
Well,
So,
or removed that portion of that episode, filled it with something else.
right. I imagine they probably weren't able to. I met after they didn't get the resolve that, they were probably hoping to with the dad. Because I imagine they probably would have loved to have had the just flown the dad in and had, him there for the dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I wasn't expecting it to be over Zoom.
oh yeah, exactly, exactly. I expected that he was going to be there, and she did
Right.
too, because she was all like, "Don't tell me I'm about to see my father." Like, no, only on the computer. But yeah. Other than that, I still love the show. I
Oh, I
will
do
miss
too.
Bobby, but I'll be happy for more. So
Well, just as long as they, I think they should allow us to pick his replacement.
that would be very interesting.
No, just you and me.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, that would be very, very interesting.
yeah, because it's like I want somebody that to be somebody that looks kind of like Lee Asher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, strong and shirtless. Yeah.
Shirtless would be great. But I mean, one of the reasons I love Bobby is because he and I had similar like church trauma type stuff. So I got where he was coming from with a lot of that. And like in the early episodes when he had trouble even walking into a church and dealing with any of that. So anyway, all right. What do we have next? Hell's Kitchen season 22. Basically, this has been over for a couple weeks now, I think. So the Irish guy won, and I'm totally fine with that. I was fine with either one of them. I thought they were both good choices. So
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
at least it wasn't where you're going, why are these people in the finals?
Right. And there's been a few of those that
Yeah.
I've been like, really, that guy? But you know what I'm really looking forward to? Uh, Tom's arm on the video. Tom is showing his arm and how it turns this way and that, and how he would do puppets. Yes, his musculature for when he hand puppets with Big Fatty. So
No, that's fist fucking big
oh no, we don't call it that. We call it puppetry.
puppetry. Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
So
Hands are so much smaller than they used to be, so I don't
yeah,
Sean says I could be probably a decent fister.
probably be
I mean puppeteer.
Mr. Fister. What?
Puppeteer.
Yes, puppeteer. Yes, yes.
Hey,
Oh, I was gonna say I'm looking.
smell the burger finger?
Geez, I am really looking forward to uh, what is the show? Top Chef coming back.
Oh yeah.
I was watching it in reruns a little bit ago, and I'm really looking forward to. I'm sad Padma won't be there, but I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Well, the girl's taking Padma's place is actually really good. She's from the show.
Oh,
She's done her own cooking show, and it was really good. So I think she's going to be a fine replacement. And I do think that these people don't have to do this forever if they have aspirations of doing other things.
that is true. But I like my I just like my niche. Stay in your niche. I need you there to make the show good. Anyway, speaking of good, a feud, Capote versus the Swans. Are you caught up? All three episodes? There may be.
I've I'm like two or three.
Yeah, the big party.
Well, let's see. We just finished Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. So you have the party episode to go yet.
Okay. How
Yeah.
about that Thanksgiving though?
Oh my gosh. See, and what's his name? The one who for some reason can never remember his name anymore.
Russell Trover.
Yes, right, yes, correct. Thank you.
Not
His big
Russell
scene
Stover.
at the Thanksgiving table. Oh my God.
But he beat him up before that too.
And after, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
but then
uh,
that's the problem. You cannot bait these, you know,
muscle head
well,
creep.
yeah, I mean
Pie.
these guys who are obviously a mess anyway, but you
Mhm.
can't yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, thanks. I love have you I'm trying to think, is there a show where they've had Thanksgiving where it's not a total disaster?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, because I mean, it's gotten to the point now. I mean, because you saw The Bear, right? You watched The Bear?
I have not watched that yet.
Okay. The Bear episode, I think it was the Christmas episode, second
Mhm.
season. Jamie Lee Curtis.
I've heard so much about it.
She's so fantastic in it. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous. Oscar, if she doesn't get the Emmy next year for it, then their publicity is not working because all they
Yeah.
have to do is remind people because it's going to be a long time. The new season starts before the end of the uh time to vote for the Emmys. So they might lose that second season in there because of the time difference.
I
We'll
hope
see.
not. But
Anyway, but I mean you look back at Home for the Holidays,
mm,
and I mean even the Snoopy Christmas that was all messed up when they were supposed to go to grandma's house, and then they're out there eating, what, popcorn.
Popcorn and jelly beans
It
and
was,
toast.
yeah. So yeah, Thanksgiving. This is why I hate Thanksgiving. It's a disaster just waiting to happen.
Oh, these guys, that was just awful. That whole episode, I'm just like, I don't know how you people can stand each other. Anyway, but yeah, it's very, I'm really enjoying it. Although season or episode 3 was much better because season episode 2 left me a little bit like, eh, and 3 brought it right back. I think you'll like it.
Right.
And then we've got, Halo season 2 has started, and I watched both episodes of that.
I just saw the first one.
Okay. I am liking it better in that the first season, it took me a long time to really understand what the hell was going on. They did, and them whole, oh, you gotta watch the game to understand it. No, then you shouldn't do it. You need to put it in the TV show. You need to make us understand from the show what's the fuck is going on.
That's right.
But this season is a lot better and a lot more linear, and I am really, even 2 episodes in, I'm invested in it enough to just like, where's the next episode? So, and of course, the lead actor, so dreamy. He really is. Anyway,
Truman.
Yeah. No, we're talking about Halo.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Have you ever seen pictures of Truman when he was young?
Is
I
it
mean,
like,
that's one of the things that they say made him so bitter, is then he went from being like a hot Twinkie, like sought after, and to somebody who did not particularly maybe age well. I'm not saying that, I'm just repeating. So
okay.
anyway, all right. Okay, so I think that's everything we're watching together, which most of those are gonna be going now.
Right.
We'll have to find some new ones. All right, for me, I watched Alexander on Netflix. It is the docu-series, so it is half documentary, well, half, not even half, quarter documentary, and then the rest is, of course, sensationalized, fictionalized shot. And it's really good. I think that they had less than they really should have, maybe, to drag it into 6 episodes instead of maybe 4 would have been a little tighter. But the actors are great, and let me tell you, his boyfriend's on that show. Whoa. I mean, that is just yum. Very, very attractive men. But yeah, it's great, and a lot of people, I think it has more, it got more press than it normally would have, because all the straight guys were freaking out because they're like, oh, they made Alexander gay. Yeah, he was. Sorry, that's been well known for a long, long time, or at least bisexual. So
No, he was gay, not bisexual. That bisexual thing was pulled out to make everybody feel better about it. The only
well, it was pulled out because he fathered a child
kids.
with his enemy's wife, basically.
That
Uh,
doesn't make you
well, see
bisexual.
that, yeah, I agree. But I'm just throwing it out there that
Right now, I get it. I
he's
get it. I'm just
bisexual.
telling.
But at the same time, it could have very much been a strategic move to just drive home the fuck you attitude, thing. Regardless, it's a really good show, and I recommend it if you have any interest in that time period or anything at all. I finished Chippendales, and I was just left with an ugh feeling. It was a decently done show, and it was well acted, but just ugh. What a horrible, horrible everything.
Well,
I'm
it's weird.
surprised it
Do you remember
survived.
hearing that story when it happened?
I no, I was like 7 or 8 or something
10.
like that.
Yeah, yeah.
10, maybe. What year was it?
I think it started in the late 70s, went to the mid 80s.
Okay, so yeah, I would have been under 14 that whole time. So
Well,
no, I don't.
but you could have
With
heard about
free
it
networks to
afterwards too.
watch.
It doesn't have to take in place. You don't. It's funny. The Civil War happened way before the time I was born, but I still know a little bit about it. So,
Well,
no,
interestingly,
but no,
yeah. So
the point I'm trying to make is I was alive during that time period and I was watching this and I don't remember hearing anything about that.
okay, that was your point. That I completely understand. Yeah. Nope, I never knew anything about that until I saw this series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, and anytime I can see the main actor, that's good because I do love him, although he should have been like in his underwear more often. But then that would take away because what's underneath all his clothes doesn't look like the character.
Now you're talking about the club owner.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. He is a very attractive man, but
Well,
yeah,
and it's funny because the guy who was the guy Murray, I can't think of his last name. He's the one that was who took the shit in the suitcase in the first what was the
yeah.
Jennifer, yeah, okay, that show. He took the shit in
Uh,
but and
that,
he was also the love interest in Just the Two of Us. No, Just the
yeah.
Last of Us
Oh, the
in the
last.
episode
Oh,
3.
yes, that is correct. I forgot
He's
about
had
that.
some he's had some really good roles in
Yeah,
the past, and he did win the Emmy for the pooping in the suitcase.
delightful. So I also finished The Crown, and I think they did a really good job wrapping it up because, well, frankly, after the whole, uh, Charles got married and scene, except for Prince Philip dying, there pretty much wasn't that much else to do except for the, Harry going off the rail type thing. But who wants to tackle that in this day and age? So I think they did a really great job with it. But yeah, it was it's time that it was done. So there you go. I watched Strays, which is now free on Prime, and I really liked it. I mean, it's got some stuff in it that's totally gross for me, but it had a lot of laughs, and I will say that there's actually a second Will Ferrell movie that I actually thought was funny, and he did a good job in. So there you go. Maybe I just need to not see him on screen. But it was very fun. What did you think of it? I thought you
I
said
will,
it was fun.
yeah, I reviewed it before on the show.
Yes, I know.
No, no, it's actually I because I'm always uh, I mean I like Will Ferrell more than you do.
Hmm.
But it is a hit and miss with me, and I didn't have to see him half the time. I forgot it was him. So it was
Yeah.
just these sweet dogs trying to basically find their way home or
Hmm. Kind of, sort of, in a
I mean,
roundabout way.
and
But I thought the whole thing was really well done.
there's some ridiculous points, but it is probably, even though it's not meant for kids, that's the thing.
No.
It was approached as a kids show, but not for kids, if that
And see,
makes sense.
that's the thing is I thought watching the commercials and stuff, I thought that it was a kid's show. And I was like, oh, I'll probably watch that at some point because I like that type of thing. And well, I like this better.
Well, but if it's, I always find it's interesting. It's like when people go, "Oh, The Bear," that's not a comedy. Well, it's written like a comedy.
Uh-huh.
And it just because it's not, uh, I guess, if you're not a writer, you don't understand it as well. But you can completely write a drama from a comical point of view. I mean, a
Absolutely.
play. Yeah, I mean, there's just the ways you can do it, and and so the Strays. I like the fact that it plays like a kids movie, but everyone swears and they talk about things that would never be in a kids movie.
And they do some really awful, crazy, yeah. But I don't care. It was fun. If you just want one of those like, oh, kind of I'm having a beer and relaxing or whatever you want to do. It's fun. Watch it. Also started season 2 of The Circle. Finally, I know it's been out for a while, but I just could not bring myself to watch it yet. I finally did, and I like it a lot better than season 1. I actually like get the characters. I understand what the hell's going on now, but I'm on episode 4, and they need to freaking move it along because they're doing too much character. Oh, let's just lay here and talk about blah. No, do something. Come on, action. So,
See, I do understand what you're talking about. Um, the difference. I mean, let's face it, the first one was the first one, and
yeah,
so now they know the second season what audiences liked about the first one, and they can play into those kind of places. And the same thing with season 3. So
exactly. And I hope that I think season 3 will be even tighter
yeah.
because of it. So, yay. Okay. So let's move into advice. My grandson is getting married this summer, and he and his fiance have picked what I think of as an extremely peculiar wedding theme. I actually think wedding themes are a strange idea in the first place, but this one is something else. Since they met in veterinarian school and both love animals, they have decided to get married on a working farm, which is owned by one of their friends. For their bridal party, all the attendees are supposed to come down the aisle with their pet, either on a leash or in their arms, depending on what their pet is. Party favors are dog and cat collars with the bride and groom's name on the date. Oh, and the date. And there will be goodie bags filled with cookies that look like dog biscuits. I don't think I'm overreacting when I say this wedding is going to the dogs. I don't even know how to support this event. And my question is, should I?
No, you should stay home because you obviously don't like to have a good time.
And you're going to be bitchy the whole time and sneering at things and making
Yeah.
people uncomfortable with your bitchiness. That's what I say.
Well,
Stay home. You can't have fun.
I mean, I have been to some interesting themed weddings, but it's actually better than at least you can see some creativity where if you instead of just doing a normal, okay, here's the bride, here's the groom, you're doing the dance, we're doing the
Yeah,
cutting the cake,
the
go home, give us your
traditional.
presents, blah blah blah. It's just
We saw that on One Life to Live. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
I mean, it is a little bit out there, but I would rather smooch and hug and say "oh" to everybody's pets than sit there and stare at Aunt Griselda who's nodding off again because she took too much Dramamine.
well, I mean, remember 27 Dresses?
Oh yeah,
One of those dresses was a theme wedding.
yeah,
So
that's true.
So, the animal thing does not surprise me at all. Or, I mean, actually, it would be one that I'd be more, like you said, more likely to go to because I can see everybody's pets and
Uh
it's
huh.
a working farm, so we can go out and pet the cows and
Right.
and feed the chicken. Yeah, it sounds like more fun than, oh, okay, now we're gonna, the DJ is gonna play the first song. It's,
Let's take
ugh.
bets on how dry the chicken's gonna be. Hmm.
Well, and whether or not it's a open bar or not.
Yeah, and how much they're gonna charge for drinks? Because girl, I'm gonna get anyway. So, well, let's see. This, of course, is from someone else's mom who writes, "It's probably safe to say that just about every wedding has aspects that some guests aren't on board with. In this case, it sounds like the couple might be taking their theme to unusual lengths, and honestly, the logistics look to me like trouble in the making. Nonetheless, while I absolutely see your point, as a member of the groom's immediate family, you also think it's, oh, I also think it's your job to go with the flow as tactfully as you can. Stay home.
Who is this from?
It's a column called Someone Else's Mom. Ask Someone
Oh,
Else's Mom.
all right.
Yeah. In this case, mom. So, all right. Low budget. Oh, that's for a different time and place. Okay. Hey, Chubs, were you allowed to play with dolls as kids? Uh,
Um, I probably could. I never really wanted to because girls were gross. So, that included their dolls and the Barbies and all that bullshit. But I did have a Major Matt Mason, which was a character. He was like a G.I. Joe, but he was a space, you know,
okay.
and I had the whole um, lunar landing well, his ship, and he had a crawler that worked out on the moon. He also had a whole space station. It was nice. It was
Huh,
good.
that's pretty
Um,
cool.
yeah, but and then I had a lot of stuffed animals, but that never was a problem. So
Yeah, I had a lot of them too. As far as dolls, like Barbie type dolls and stuff, it wasn't not allowed to. They just weren't there in my periphery. I mean, there were no there were no girls in the house or, anything like that. So I didn't have them around to really care about. The ones that I got, um, I did have a couple like male dolls, but the one that I got the was Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. I had a Steve Austin doll, and it was I basically had him for a little bit and then took off his clothes. And since there was nothing interesting under his clothes, I popped off his head and carried it around in my pocket, which kind of is, yeah. Anyway, it may seem a little weird, but the thing is that he was a bionic man, so he had a little magnifying glass for an eye, and if you held the head up to your eye, you could magnify things.
oh,
So,
see, I
yeah.
would have just tried to put him in my butt.
I can see that. I have other friends that would probably have done the same. However, um, now of course I'm sitting there going, "Oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I'd kept the doll because it was pretty. I think it was pretty cool now." But anyway, la da da. So, hey Chubs, have oh by the way, that one and this one come from our Timothy. Hey Chubs, have you ever hated someone? If so, who and for how long?
Well, I've hated a lot of people,
Loaded.
a lot of people, and I still hate them. But I don't, but what happens is I tend to forget who they are. And so I don't carry around a lot of baggage that way. And it's funny until you mention a name of somebody that I don't like, I don't even think about it until till you say something. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh, oh yeah, I hate that person. But but I don't hate it's not like a rain cloud hanging over my head all the time. It's not that way at
Right.
all. It's just I just hate them.
Yeah, I don't like hating people. It's just a lot of energy. So if I do dislike someone or mostly just do not want to deal with that person at all, I kind of do like I just kind of just out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to just go away. Just no, thank you.
Goodness, yeah.
So I mean, I don't think there are a couple people that one person that I really did hate, and then he died, and I felt sorry for him because he died rather young, and so I don't hate him anymore, but I'm also glad that I don't have to worry about bumping into him. Uh, but yeah, no, I can't say that I really hate anyone. Oh, well, there is one person, but I have not met them. Actually, there's a whole slew of them, and they're running for president. But yeah, so there we go. Thank you, Timothy, for writing in, and we have several others coming up from him next week. What's at your lunchbox? Well, starting off, we have Mr. Moose writing in, and he says, grocery store had a special sale on large shrimps, $5.50 a pound. That is actually a good special. Well, I couldn't pass that up. Bought a couple of pounds, fried them up with okra and baked Parmesan bread. Sounds so good. Look at that photo.
I just want to know what I need to find out what his
Bread, panko.
breading process is.
Yeah. Actually, that would be really good, Moose. If you feel comfortable sharing with us, we won't even need to put it on the show unless you say it's okay. But
Yeah,
Tom would really like to know because
I need to
that's
know how.
gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is like restaurant style breading, and I can never get my shit to look this way.
Yeah, I gave up trying that a long time ago.
Because
Okay,
I'm
this
sure that it had to be like a restaurant
mm,
because breading is just so good. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. This isn't a pretty dish. I don't know. It's nice. The pattern's sweet. Anyway, but it tastes good. Chicken with cashews. Had a few water chestnuts in there. I love water chestnuts. I always put water chestnuts in my stuffing. Mom and I love them. So, okay.
I
Well,
hate them, and I've hated them for a long time. Does that
really.
answer Timothy's question?
Oh, mm, mm,
No, I guess that's a
no.
person. It's not a person. But yeah, I've always hated water chestnuts because they confuse me.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
because I'm ne if I know they're there, I'm fine, but
Mhm.
I don't like to have a crunchy snap in something that I don't expect a crunchy snap in.
I understand that, yeah.
I
But
remember I had a bacon wrapped um water chestnut, but I thought it was a bacon wrap
scallop.
something. I don't remember what it was. It was something else, and I bit into it, and it was like, and the person with me goes, "What was that?" And I go, "I have no idea," because it was so loud that startled the person next to me, and I go, "I don't know. I'm not gonna about." And I threw it into the plant behind the
Oh,
food that was out, and then I realized what it was, and then I felt dumb. But um, no, this I think he's saying it's not a pretty plate because it's just brown and rice. He's not talking
yeah.
about the plate itself. The plate is gorgeous, and he knows it.
Well, oh,
Um,
yeah, it is. I
but
mean, I
but
think those cashews are just
well, it's funny because when it was the small picture before I hit it, I thought it was like a chili mac.
oh, yeah, I can see that.
Because the cashews look like elbow macaroni, and
Yeah,
then it was like, oh wait, no, that's chicken and cashews. Ooh, that looks good.
it does.
I love Chinese food. Well, let's say I like most Asian food, whether it's Chinese or Japanese or Indian or Vietnamese or Filipino. Yum, 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 everywhere.
I hate to say it, but when it comes to Chinese food, I am very much more into the Americanized versions of it. I have some issues with and their stuff, but
You know what makes it?
our friend Lori Dean loves the traditional chicken, the Chinese cuisine.
Yeah. Well, what they did was when they got to America, they just added sugar to everything.
Yeah.
Make white people like their food.
Well, hey, that's how
Uh,
it got so fat.
yeah, yeah, it's exactly what it is. Okay, next, and then the next picture
Mhm.
is my lumpia that I made, and so I just took egg roll wrappers, and then well, first of all, I didn't do pork. They usually do pork in the either pork, sometimes chicken. You can do beef. It doesn't really matter. I did beef because I had ground beef, and then it's with some you can get the bag of mixed vegetables that come with the corn,
Mm.
the carrots, and the peas. That's the right one to do. And then you put that in with your meat, and then cabbage. Mix that all up together. There's a few spices, some soy sauce in there. I put some cayenne because I wanted some heat, and then you just roll them up and you cook them. It's funny because when you first roll them up, they look like they're really small, but when they
Mm.
hit the oil, the wrappers, because mine look more like egg rolls than they look like lumpia, but they tasted like lumpia. I think I need to get the wonton wrappers to get it to look more like
Oh yeah, I can see that.
yeah, but anyway, they tasted excellent. We had some left over because I made way too many, and Sean was right there rolling with me. He wanted to roll actually more than he wanted me to roll because his were obviously better than mine. And so we so I got 6 left over, which I'll put in the fryer to into the air fryer and get those redone while I'm finishing up the stir fry that I'm making with the leftover stuff from the fillings. So I'm going to do some egg in that with some more cabbage and some asparagus and do like a nice big stir fry with egg rolls. So it'll be
That
fun.
sounds really yummy.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective when in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And find Tom's other podcasts at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And you can always give us a call at
408-69 Chubs, what's on your shirt?
on my shirt, Al Parker.
Oh, okay.
Yes, beautiful Al Parker. This is the only shirt like this that exists because I had it made myself.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I made our friend Luigi a Eric Manchester shirt. Yes. So I will be making you a Leo Ford or Lance shirt. Oh, maybe a Daddy Lance shirt. No? No. Okay. Anyway, and don't forget that right now, ChubsGoneWild.com should work okay, but just in case it's not, don't worry. The feed to all of our aggregators should work just fine. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We love you.
Love you.
Time. Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.